The coffee industry. Why the coffee industry? Well, I'll run through it in this video. Hello everybody. Don't know what that was. This is building a business from scratch week 1. So in my previous video, I mentioned that I'm going to start a business. I've always wanted to start a business, and the issue is I have certain constraints. So when deciding which business I'm going to set up, I have to consider and account for these constraints, like limited funds or limited time. You get. So I have decided to enter the coffee industry. Why the coffee industry? Well, I'll run through it in this video. So firstly, limited funds. Starting a business can be very costly, but coffee is actually a great choice for this low cost upfront model. You see, unlike businesses that need large inventories or expensive prototypes, coffee actually allows a dropshipping approach. What is a dropshipping approach? Let me explain. Imagine this is my business. So imagine this is my website, my e-commerce store. This is the consumer. And when he makes a purchase, or she, I then contact my supplier and say, look, guess what? I made some money. And I say, okay, now I'm going to pay you. Let's just do pound signs instead. And then the supplier goes, oh, well done. I'll package your item and send it to that lovely customer. Now this is great because what this means is I don't spend any money until I get money. So this really reduces risk. Now it does have some downsides. The downsides, I would say, probably 2 main downsides. One would be you lose a bit of control. So you are putting a lot of trust into the supplier, making sure that they're going to package the item right, making sure that they're going to deliver it on time. And you also have a little bit more a little bit less control over what the way you can package it, how you can communicate to your customer that it's on its way, things like that. The other downside is you're probably going to lose a bit of margin as well. So suppliers, because they're taking on a little bit more risk now with the dropshipping model, will probably tend to charge a little bit more than compared to if you were going to buy it wholesale. So if you're going to buy loads in bulk, you'd probably get a much better price. But that's more risky on my end, because what if I don't sell that? Then I've spent a lot of money on something I don't sell. So my thinking is definitely start with the dropshipping model, because we don't know how successful this is going to be. And if it's not very successful, I don't make any sales, or it takes a long time to make any sales, I haven't lost much money. But over time, yes, I think I would probably move away from a dropshipping model to give myself a bit more control, make a little bit more margin. As mentioned in my last video, resources are going to be an issue for me. I'm going to do this on my own, time as well. And so being able to have an e-commerce store that uses the dropshipping model is actually going to be really beneficial to me, because it means all the logistics side of the business will be pretty much automatic, or certainly low touch, which allows me to focus more on the marketing side of things, which will be difficult, but that's going to be the important thing. That's going to be the make or break of this business realistically. And on the point of marketing, my only strategy at this point is going to be based on organic social media. So that's going to be content that I will create, mostly video content probably, post it through social media with no budget. And so coffee is great because it's such a massive industry. Over 60% of the country drinks coffee. So it's relevant to a lot of people, which I think is going to increase
the content's chance of going viral or just getting and reaching a wider audience and being relevant to them as well. It is going to be a challenge. You know, it is a really saturated market. Just in general, coffee content is saturated. So I'm going to have to do a lot of thinking and a lot of trial and error to stand out from the crowd. And that really is going to be the challenge in this business. And so, yes, this ticks the box of starting a business that has an existing demand. Coffee has an existing demand. It has a massive market, billions. And so my aim is to kind of penetrate that market and try and take some market share. Now, it's really saturated. There's a lot of established big brands in coffee. And, you know, I'm not ignorant. I don't think this is going to be a walk in the park. But I do think there is room for an exciting, outrageous, unique kind of brand. You know, I think at the moment, most coffee brands, quite traditional, not too exciting. And the ones that are doing very good, I think, are probably more geared towards a female audience. I'm thinking of brands like Chamberlain Coffee, maybe Grind Coffee. But I think that there is room for, you know, a tough coffee brand, maybe leaning in on drinking coffee black. I do see a growing trend in cleaner eating. So I see a growing trend in people moving away from processed foods and sugar. Lots of people have coffee with sugar and cream and syrup, and maybe I can build a brand based around drinking it black and having the best tasting black coffee out there, so it's healthy for you. I don't know. But I do think there is something, if we can be very strategic and smart about it, there might be room to take a percentage of that market. And I'm not trying to build $1 billion company here. I'm just trying to build something that can grow. And so finally, is coffee something that I'm actually passionate enough about to run as a business? And yeah, I would say yes. You know, I love coffee. I am a massive consumer. I drink coffee every day. First thing I do in the morning is make a nice cup of coffee. I love the way it makes me feel. I love the taste. You know, I do like coffee. What I am not is an expert. I don't know the science behind it all. I'm not an expert in coffee production. It's something I'm interested in, something I'd like to learn more about, which is going to be a benefit because it's something I'm probably going to need to learn. But I don't know all the science behind it. But that is not the business I'm running. I am not in the business of producing coffee. I am in the business of finding the supplier of the best coffee and bringing it to market. And so the supplier is the one who's going to be the expert in the science behind it. I'm just trying to find the one that I think is going to resonate the most with my target audience and taste the best and provide the best value to my consumers. I'm interested in the science behind it, but I'm not an expert in it, but that's not going to hold me back. So there you have it. I'm going to enter the coffee industry. So next steps are going to be find a supplier, build the online store, think about the brand, you know, think about the messaging, the colors, the aesthetic, who are the cohorts that I'm trying to reach. And then it gets really tough. And then I'm going to have to think about how I'm actually going to acquire customers and make sales, which is going to be through organic social, which is just going to be really tough because that's going to be all about thinking about unique ways to make content and lots of trial and error and just lots of consistency and lots of hard work. But that's what we're in it for. Should be fun. So do please subscribe to the channel, drop a comment below, you know, if you've got any questions or anything you want to add, or, you know, if you've got any advice, you know, I really appreciate that. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.